Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Talk Live here on the LTL Media channel. I want to welcome everybody into the live chat, and we are getting set here for the Canton Select Board meeting. It is via Zoom. I do see everybody in the chat room. I think it's supposed to continue via Zoom because they're under the COVID protocol until September, but who the hell knows? It's just, we know what it's about. It's about suppressing the feedback when people go in and they have their concerns and they voice it. They just don't want that to happen. But we'll see what happens. We have some things lined up here tonight that I think is going to be pretty comical, and we'll get the board meeting going here soon. I'm not going to wait too much longer here. Let me bring in Mazza. Mazza's here tonight. He's going to join me. What's up, dude? How are you?
What's going on? How you doing?
Yeah, we got a little something going on tonight, so we won't spoil it, but you'll be able to hear it, which is going to be great.
Yeah.
But we'll wait to see what's going to go on here with the board meeting. But it does look like it's gonna. Let's widen this up. We'll see what happens here. If not, if we don't get it here, I know, Maz, you have the Zoom link, so we can just pull the Zoom link up. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. And then afterwards, after this stream ends, it's going to go directly to part 2 of Jennifer McCabe's testimony. We had a lot of fun, Maz. We had a lot of fun with that last night. I think at one point we had almost 1,400 people watching, and we went late. I mean, we were like 11:30, and people were just sticking around, and they're like, "Keep going, keep going. We want more." So we stopped right after shock and horror. And we'll pick up there tonight, and we'll do part 2. And I have new Brian Higgins information, but I'm going to wait for the next stream to disclose that, and we can talk about it. And it is a 100% verified story, something that any of you all haven't heard yet. So I'm excited to talk about that. It's going to be live tonight at the select board meeting, but it's via Zoom. So that is the letdown. It is going to be via Zoom. April, thank you for becoming a new member. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, Kelly said she fell asleep last night with her phone in her hands. But yeah, it was a good stream last night.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was only able to catch so much. I apologize. I was on 2 shows last night.
Yeah. You were up burning the midnight oil.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Ellen says, what, Higgins? Please tell us. You're going to have to wait to the next stream. And when this stream ends, it'll bring you right over to the next stream. And we'll get that one fired up and do part 2 of Jen McCabe. But I will kick it off on that stream about the new Brian Higgins information. Yeah. And I have to say that I'm very appreciative of the subscriber that tipped me off to this. And I went, what? And he goes, have you seen this? And I said, no. I said, can you keep it under wraps? I want to break it on the show. He goes, I haven't told anybody. And I'm like, yes. So it's a very interesting story.
Yeah.
Everybody's going, tell. Nope, you're going to have to wait to the next stream. So you're going to have to follow us over. You're going to have to follow us over.
Yeah.
You getting things lined up, Maz?
Yeah, I got things going on over here. Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
It's all good. I'm just wondering if it's going to go through the community. If not, we'll bring the Zoom up. She said, toss the carrot and then you yank it back. Well, that's usually what happens. But you're going to have to wait to the next stream.
There it is, the town hall where the meeting will not be taking place.
It will not be taking place in person tonight. You know what, Maz? Now that I've realized that I'm blind. I can't see anything anymore. I need glasses like full time.
Age. I've been wearing glasses since I was a little kid. So I didn't start wearing them all the time because I refused to wear my glasses all the time when I was a kid because I hated to wear them. But then at some point I just started wearing my glasses.
Yeah, now it's like I need them. All right. So we got a blank screen.
Good evening and welcome to the Canton Select Board meeting. We have a lot on the agenda today we're going to talk about. Before we stop, we're going to address all the people that are calling in tonight. You better have your first name and your last name, and you better not give this select board a hard time.
Everybody says they love the glasses. Thank you. I appreciate it. It sucks. Like, I don't want to wear them. I just want to be like, I don't know, without them, but I guess this is the way it is. All right. It is a webinar. So here we go. Yep. Let's look on the bottom. conspicuous things on the toolbar down there that we can see, or what? What are they hiding?
I don't know. This meeting is adjourned.
This meeting is adjourned. I need a gavel.
Yeah.
I did. I found my glasses today.
That's awesome. You know, what's funny is I failed my, you know, when you go to the, I won't even get into it. I'm actually going to get personal information. I'm going to stay away from it.
Yeah, it's fine. You can tell me after.
Yeah.
Maz is locked in tonight. He's got the red Solo cup.
Yeah.
Red Solo
cup. I got 2 headsets in at the same time right now. Hit the gym tonight, really, to make up for this past weekend because I never made it on Sunday.
I didn't go over the weekend. I was super lazy. I went yesterday and today. I feel good. I don't know. I want to start working on my cardio. It's terrible, Maz. I donated 7 bags of clothes to a community church yesterday, and bringing those bags up and down the stairs, I was like, like I need cardio. It's on. I don't see it's on.
They just popped on and popped off.
Interesting. It started. I don't know. You want to send me the Zoom link?
Yeah.
In the private chat?
Yeah.
Do it that way. Because I have no idea what they're doing. Thank you. That's the agenda. That's not the link to the live. That's just the agenda. That's the agenda. Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're duping everybody. Hang on, peeps. Matt's gonna send me another link. We'll get this pulled up. JR is talking. Don't worry, we'll get it. We're gonna get it. I'm just waiting. Matt's gonna send me the link. Get out of the executive screen. Let's see. Let's see. Do you have the Zoom link, Maz?
Yeah, it's in the private chat.
No, that's that's just the agenda. That's not the. It's paper. Oh, I got it.
Yeah, it's on there.
I got it. Sorry.
Recording in progress.
Now, so if I get the list of who's raised their hand first, we will start with Brenda Sweeney.
I got it. And let me just share my screen. Sorry, everybody. Screwed this up.
Brenda, can you hear me?
He has to unmute.
Okay, yep, you're mute.
Hello?
Okay, I think we got you, Brenda.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Brenda Sweeney, Canton resident. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My very own Paul Revere is a great American patriot that made Canton his summer home, a place he affectionately referred to as Canton Dale. In 1773, he was part of the protest against taxation without representation, known as the Boston Tea Party. In 1775, he rode out to alert his countrymen the Redcoats were coming. Because of that midnight ride, the Minutemen were ready on the Lexington Green for the historic battle that launched the War of Independence. Paul Revere established a copper rolling mill on the banks of the Neponset River here in Canton. It's ironic, the very place he loved to summer with his family wants the very thing he fought against, taxation without representation. You've named yourself Canton First. To you, that means anyone with a long generational family history in Canton and connections to a certain family is Canton royalty. You act with impunity like you own the town and deserve special treatment. The rest of us are second-class citizens. Well, when you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. Our forefathers signed the Declaration of Independence and went on to the curb. There is no royalty in this country. Some people in this town have other reasons to remain silent. One, there is a real concern for the safety of their family due to ever-present bullying and harassment. We recognize that safety is a priority. Two, Canton royalty dangles Turtle Boy rhetoric. Oh no, Turtle Boy is controlling them. Their secret weapon is to taunt them with Turtle Boy. Making this town healthy again does not.
I can hear it coming through.
He's not coming to town to take over.
Yeah, it's coming through my
They're
headset.
trying to use Turtle Boy to spin the narrative. Ignore the rhetoric.
That's interesting.
Amazing, isn't it, that Paul Revere wouldn't have qualified as a Canton First citizen? He would be turning over in his grave right now if he saw this rampant abuse of power and corruption in the very.
I got it.
The rest of the citizens of this town would much rather stand tall on the banks of the Neponset River beside people of Paul Revere's caliber. It's time for you Canton First citizens to take your blinders off. You don't live in Mayberry. What you have is an illusion. Open your minds, your eyes, and your heart to all the citizens of this town. Start acting like true patriotic American citizens who will stand for truth and justice for all, just like our very own Paul Revere. Until you do, there will never be peace and quiet in this town. We want to make Canton whole, a place that doesn't cater to one elite group at the expense of the rest. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States.
See each other in this. And it's an important thing that happens in public comment. And we've had it officially in place for what, I think less than a year. So I just want to say, I think we all know there have been some disruptions lately during the public comment period. And, it's unfortunate that those have happened, but I think that we can't let that deter us from meeting live and in person. It's important that we can see each other's faces. It's important that we listen to one another. It's important that we all consider what, the different viewpoints are. And, I think that it's incumbent upon the town to make these meetings open. But I also think that, we have a responsibility as the citizens and the residents to sort of, behave appropriately during these meetings. And, sometimes people got a little hot under the collar and things were said and maybe people went over the time limit. And, unfortunately that's happened, but I don't think that is a significant enough reason to, move to just having meetings over Zoom. I think the public comment period is really important. I think these dialogues are really important. I think it's really important that everybody has a chance to speak and that we don't, abuse the privilege, but that we also don't take away,
tell me when
the
it's
privilege or the right of townspeople to speak. I mean, this is supposed to be, a process of engagement where the select board, you guys, you work for the town and we are the town. So there needs to be open communication and there needs to be trust and respect and consideration. And, I thank you for hearing my comment and I hope that you will weigh it very very seriously over the next week or so. And I hope that we will be moving back to live sessions. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan. Next up, we would have Rita Lombardi.
Rita.
She's on mute.
Oh, I know what I can do.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Rita, you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, go right ahead.
Okay. I want to provide an update on my lawn, and I just want to speak about in general. Over the course of the last year and a half, there have been well over 30 incidents of violence against peaceful citizens here in Canton who dare to speak out in support of truth, justice, and accountability. I was personally involved in 2 of these. On October 4th, 2023, myself and 3 other women received letters mailed to us via U.S. mail. Among other hateful and vitriol rhetoric, the authors threatened to spread falsehoods about us and our families and friends in a desperate effort to silence us. I quote, "Desperate people do desperate things," is what the letter said. Quote, "True or false, once it is on the internet, it is true." Unquote. Quote, if you want to run for office, do so, but do not try to overthrow an elected official. End quote. It is important to note that October 4th, 2023, the same day that we got the threatening letters in the mail, it was also the first day that we could recall as citizens a recall against Chris Albert, who had just been recently elected to the select board. The letters bore similar language used in a failed harassment prevention order against Aidan Kearney just days prior in Stoughton District Court. Of the 4 women who received the threatening letter, only 1 was willing to turn hers over to the Canton Police Department for investigation. I was not willing to give them my letter, and neither were the other 2 women, because we lacked confidence in their ability to properly investigate. The letters were sent to silence courageous women who dared to use their voices and stand up for truth, justice, and accountability from our leaders. Once again, in early July of 2024, just 6 weeks ago, in another attempt to silence peaceful citizens, the lawns and gardens of 3 peaceful and outspoken citizens were dumped with very toxic chemicals that destroyed the lawn and destroyed a beautiful flower garden and vegetable garden, vegetables that the Sweeneys would grow every year to share with their neighbors. The timing of this terrorist attack on our properties was just after Judge Beverly Cannon, also known as Auntie Bev to Sean McCabe, she declared a mistrial. And the timing of that is no coincidence. It is important to know that when the 3 of us had our properties attacked, we found out from another neighbor that the discarded bag of the water balloons, they're not water balloons, but balloons filled with liquid, was halfway walking distance between my house and the Sweeneys, Oakdale and Kings Road. When we went, we discovered the bag, and Canton police came and retrieved the bag, and the bag still had 2 fully balloons that were still in them with liquid. The Canton police had them sent to Plymouth and tested. It came back. We thought it was bleach. It came back with even more toxic chemical. It was SimClean 50 with Fuchs Specialnet and drum cleaner. This is industrial strength cleaner, and it is very toxic. It's used in a manufacturing and metalworking industries of metal and repair, chemical processing and refining, heavy equipment and machinery manufacturers, industrial cleaning, logistics storage. This is heavy duty toxic stuff. I thank God that we found that bag before children found that bag. Yeah. If children, and we all know that is a huge high foot traffic area. Children walk to school, they play, they ride their bikes, parents, everybody walks that area. If children got a hold of that bag and thought that those were water balloons and threw them at each other or threw them at someone, somebody could have been seriously hurt. This is what this town has come to. Peaceful people are being terrorized in our own town for speaking the truth. It's important to note that the truth that we've been speaking, standing up for Karen Reed and demanding accountability from our select board, Karen Reed was exonerated of charges 1 and 3. And charge 2 is the one that was a mistrial. Judge Beverly Cannon needs to weigh in and make a decision on the appeal that Karen's attorney put forward. And if she doesn't do the right thing, it will go to the appeals court. Karen Reed is innocent. The peaceful protesters were right. Thank you.
Thank you, Rita. We have time for, I believe, 2 more. The next one is Clyde Ducksworth. We're waiting for you to be unmuted.
You have to unmute.
Clyde, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. Go right ahead.
Yes, this select board yet again conducting another virtual meeting is an absolute atrocity. It's an embarrassment and a very bad look for all of you. It is quite simply not a respectable move. You are hiding from your tax-paying citizens. You are elected officials and should be holding in-person meetings before the townspeople. They have real concerns and deserve to be heard publicly. They elected you. You already have low credibility in the eyes of many of the citizens. Regain some of it by reinstating in-person meetings. I've seen better select boards, but not many. Thank you.
Thank you, Clyde. And we have time for one more. Lisa Colburn.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we have you. Go right ahead.
Awesome. I'm just commenting tonight, echoing what Susan Carlson had mentioned and urging the select board to return to in-person meetings. We're no longer in a COVID era, which was intended for emergencies. And this setup is not only increasing lack of transparency and accountability, but also it's disenfranchising the residents who don't have tech savvy with a Zoom setup. It's the opposite of community. And I'm not just talking about public comment, but people's ability to be part of the civic engagement related to agenda items. And now that the summer is coming to a close, I urge you to be in person again. It's really not acceptable to hide behind Zoom meetings. That's it.
Thank you very much. That'll conclude our public comment session, and we'll go back to the agenda items. Before we do that, I just wanted to make sure, and I wanted to double check that I told everybody that this Zoom meeting is being recorded, and it will be available on Canton Community TV later for viewing. So it is being recorded. With that said, Mr. Albert, what's
so first on the agenda tonight is Christine Meany's going to hear, who's going to talk about the stormwater.
There's another live show going on.
I kind of look like Chris Albert. Look, I kind of look like Chris Albert.
Is Christine with us?
I am. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. You can go right ahead with your presentation.
Okay. And you can see the screen okay?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, I'm Christine Meany, the town's stormwater manager, and I'm here. Mike Trott is also here, the DPW director. I'm here to give a presentation on the town's stormwater system.
Make us go to bed.
So what is stormwater?
Is that 34 Fairview
stormwater
right
or stormwater runoff
Fairview.
Is untreated water from rainfall or melting snow that does not seep into the ground, but instead flows overland to the street and into our town storm drainage system. Why are we concerned about stormwater? First, we're concerned about flooding. A well-maintained storm drainage infrastructure prevents flooding, ensures our roadways are drivable, promotes public safety, and protects properties. The town strives to provide well-drained, safe roadways, clean catch basins and storm drains, and structurally safe and effectively operated dams.
Good one, Ellen.
We're also concerned about stormwater pollution. Stormwater runoff picks up litter,
to Rita's point
sand,
about the chemicals,
bacteria, oil, and other pollutants as it travels over impervious surfaces,
DW
such as roads,
$4,
parking
$5.
lots, and driveways.
Will henceforth be known as
Most of the
Clyde.
time, when stormwater runoff enters the town's
Clyde.
storm drainage system,
it's my version of Clarence Wood. It's Everson.
Catch basin grate. It is conveyed directly into a local waterway, such as a brook, pond, river, or wetland. This is why it is so important that our stormwater runoff is clean, as we need to protect our waterways from stormwater pollution.
Peggy, thank you, by the way, the $200 super chat.
Bacteria and parasites from pet waste,
Thank you.
failing septic systems, and other sources can make waters unsafe for recreation and cause disturbances in the ecosystem. Excess phosphorus and nitrogen originating from fertilizer, grass clippings, and fallen leaves that enter the storm drain system through a catch basin flows into our waterways, where they leach into the water and create algae blooms.
And P.S. Thank you for the 5 on Buy Me a Coffee.
Canton is responsible to operate and maintain all of this stormwater infrastructure. And new infrastructure will continually be added as they are installed on town-owned properties or when subdivision roadways are accepted by the town. What is the NIPD's MS4? 1972, the United States Environmental Protection Agency created the Clean Water Act to address water pollution by regulating stormwater outfalls that discharge pollutants to waters of the United States. An offshoot of the Clean Water Act was the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System Program, or NIPDES. The NIPDES program regulates stormwater discharges from municipal separate storm sewer systems, or MS4. The town of Canton has a federally mandated NIPDES MS4 permit with the EPA, which allows the town to discharge stormwater from town-owned or operated drainage systems into our brooks, ponds, and rivers. Do we really need to do this?
Britta, thank you. Quack, quack.
Our MS4 permit allows the town to discharge its stormwater into our local brooks, ponds, and rivers. While this is a mandate from the federal government, it is also an investment in our future, which will ultimately improve Canton's roadway infrastructure system, prevent flooding, and protect properties. The town, under the MS4 permit, has a great opportunity to improve the water quality of our natural resources, which in turn will protect public health, wildlife, and our environment. The money spent to comply with the MS4 permit should be considered an investment in our And why do we need to maintain our stormwater system? It's for long-term sustainability. We need to maintain and improve our stormwater system now instead of compromising our ability to care for it in the future. Clean stormwater and maintained infrastructure system
talk about chemicals being
keeps
thrown
our
on someone's
waterways
lawn,
free from pollution, ensures our roads are drivable, promotes public safety, preserves property values, and prevents localized and large-scale flooding. It also protects local wildlife habitat from pollutants such as bacteria, phosphorus, and other impairments. We need to work together to keep our waterways clean and all of our properties safe. The major challenges of the current MS4 permit is that it's an unfunded federal mandate requiring capital projects for stormwater improvements, increased operation and maintenance requirements, a major increase in data collection, management, and reporting, stormwater planning and assessment activities for the future, and compliance with water quality requirements. And what are some of the problems? The current level of funding leads to operation and maintenance challenges, such as deferred system maintenance needs, a backlog of capital improvements, and no long-term stormwater program plan in place. Climate change can affect the intensity and frequency of participation. In recent years, as you've probably noticed, we had a storm last Friday. A larger percentage of precipitation has come in the form of intense single events, a lot of rain in a short period of time. And flooding creates safety hazards, places stress on aging infrastructure, and can lower property values.
That's right, Julia. Look at that.
The first line of
Ironic,
defense from flooding is Canton's drainage system, making it imperative to aggressively inspect, maintain, and expand our drainage network. Much of the town's existing stormwater infrastructure is operating beyond its useful design life and needs to be repaired. Related concerns include replacement of system components, damaged, failing, and clogged systems, and undersized systems due to both new development and heavy rainfalls, the extreme precipitation events. In the case of stormwater, when a natural area is developed with impervious cover, it contributes a greater volume of stormwater runoff to the drainage system as less water is infiltrated back into the ground. And with respect to water quality, as determined by the Mass Department of Environmental Protection, many waterways in Canton are impaired largely because of stormwater runoff. And stormwater pollution can destroy or harm aquatic habitat,
Katrina,
make swimming and fishing areas unsafe.
Like really? I don't know.
Environmental
and harm
science
wildlife
class.
in and around rivers and ponds. The town of Canton has 3 municipally owned utilities that it needs to operate and maintain: sewer, water, and stormwater. The sewer and water utilities are funded via dedicated utility funds based on usage. Unfortunately, stormwater is the forgotten infrastructure since every drainage system works perfectly when it's not raining. But stormwater runoff needs to be managed just as any other process in town is managed. Management is essential to ensure that during storm events, stormwater runoff from town-owned property does not flood or erode private property, put public safety at risk, and is pollution-free to protect the quality of our natural waterways. The majority of the town's stormwater management functions are supported by the general fund, financed through the real estate tax levy under the DPW. Since multiple town expenses compete for general fund financing, including schools and public safety, stormwater-related expenses have traditionally been viewed as being of lower priority than competing expenses, and often do not receive the attention they require. In recent years, under the current MS4 permit, Canton has taken a more proactive approach to all aspects of stormwater management, but there is still a backlog of system inspection, assessment, maintenance, and construction
we're going to get to that.
needs.
Don't worry. We're doing it
A
tonight.
dependable funding source is required to support a proactive stormwater management program. Future funding for stormwater management is either through the general fund via tax increase or implementing a stormwater utility fee. A utility fee provides a dedicated and adequate source of funding for the costs of managing our stormwater system as mandated by the EPA. Similar to a sewer or water utility fee, a stormwater utility fee is based on the premise that the stormwater drainage system is a public system and that management of the system is a public cost.
Yeah,
they get all the time.
Implementing a stormwater utility fee would help alleviate the monetary burden placed on the town budget by the MS4 permit requirements, along with required stormwater system maintenance and upgrades. How does a stormwater utility work?
Oh my God.
Fees are assigned to a parcel for services provided, and the fee is proportional to the property owner's stormwater burden, such as their impervious area on the stormwater system. If you have more impervious area, you create more stormwater runoff, which is a larger burden on the stormwater system, which results in a larger user fee. It's not a rain tax because property value is not considered. And also, tax-exempt properties contribute, such as nonprofit entities. Why a stormwater utility? Well, a stormwater utility is safe.
Oh, gosh.
It's stable
Chapter
because
2.
it's not as dependent on the uncertain annual budget process as taxes are. It's adequate because a typical stormwater fee is based on a well thought out stormwater program to meet the needs and
Using an
demands of the
acronym
MS4
right now.
permit and the
God.
community. It's flexible because fees can be structured in multiple ways, and the program can be managed to fund activities based on changing permit priorities and town needs. And finally, it is equitable because the public cost for managing the system is distributed across the community based on customers' estimated impact on the stormwater system, not on property value or land use, and even tax-exempt properties pay a fee. Again, this is not a rain tax. It allows the town to charge a share of the cost to all property owners that create stormwater runoff, including not-for-profit entities in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We all rely on well-drained, safe roadways, and stormwater pollution is a community problem that needs to be addressed.
They're literally creating a tax to get more money out of people
Every
because of the
vehicle
fucking rain.
that drips fluids on our roads
Natural
is
not a rain
contributing to
tax.
stormwater pollution.
Oh yeah, right. But it's natural
Because
things
of
that
this,
happen in
the
nature.
town is
We're gonna nail
responsible
you
for
with
sweeping
it
the
and
streets,
tell us to give you money.
cleaning our
Give us
existing
money.
infrastructure,
Unreal.
and building new infrastructure to treat our stormwater. Even if you don't own a vehicle, or if you own an electric vehicle, say you buy something from the grocery store, Amazon, or Uber Eats, there is going to be a vehicle involved in transporting those goods using the roads.
This is insane. I can't believe I live in this state. I literally live in this state.
What are the benefits of a stormwater utility? The town will continue to meet all the requirements of our EPA MS4 permit, flood mitigation, roadway safety and improvements, improve stormwater infrastructure, protect the water quality of our waterways.
These are things that have been happening on
development of long-range planning for drainage
now all of a
projects
sudden
will be
we're going to
more
start trying to figure out
cost-effective.
ways to tax people.
Excuse me.
This is nothing out
And
of the
enhanced
normal.
drainage
This has been going on
maintenance to
for
instill a
years.
proactive approach rather than a reactive approach.
Unreal. Oh my God. Be over with this presentation.
Yeah, bring back Clyde's Duckworth. Clyde
and potentially every street repaving or reconstruction would equal stormwater upgrades. These two pictures are from the town of Arlington. The one on the left is an infiltration trench that's being installed in an existing roadway. And the picture on the right is a rain garden where they cut out part of the curbing to allow the stormwater to flow into the rain garden. So these are all retrofits in existing roadways.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Approximately 2,100 stormwater utilities exist in the United States, and over 25 Massachusetts towns and cities have a stormwater utility currently to generate the funds needed to meet their MS4 permit
taxes
and storm drainage system maintenance requirements. For fiscal year 2025,
page 10 out of 250.
The stormwater program budget is
I'm testing
around
everybody on the
$592,000. But it's estimated that required future budget for the stormwater program is going to be almost 3 times of what it is now. Excuse me. Existing town legislation. The town of Canton already has existing enabling legislation beyond the Commonwealth of Massachusetts general laws to form a stormwater utility. This language is in the current general bylaws.
Yep, you're right.
There's a picture of me with Clyde Ducksworth now as a meme.
And that's it. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about current and future status of the town's stormwater system.
That is a great point.
And in conclusion, to meet the current and future requirements of the federal mandated MS4 permit and to address increasing stormwater requirements, additional and consistent funding is needed to operate, maintain, and improve upon our existing stormwater system. If the select board is amenable to a stormwater utility, I would be more than happy to prepare another presentation with more detailed information with respect to the fee structures.
Thank you, Christine. One quick question, if you have an answer. On the 25 communities that have this in place now, what would be the average utility cost per household? Do you have that number?
On average, it ranges, but it's probably around $100 to $125 a year. And that would be billed quarter. They're usually
How many
billed
residents
quarterly.
are in?
And that would be a separate bill as a utility.
I believe it can be included on either the sewer bill or the water bill.
Thank you. Does any other board member have? Oh, sorry, didn't see it. Trish, go ahead.
Oh my God.
You're muted, Trish. There you go.
Okay, so let me just lower my hand. So yeah, a couple of questions.
Oh
So
my
we
God,
would
that's
decide that it wouldn't go to
$2.3 million.
annual town meeting?
No, I believe it was already voted at town meeting because it's in the general bylaws.
Okay, that's good to know. And while you were talking, I was thinking about some of the people who've talked to me in the few short months I've been here, namely Indian Lane, where there's continual flooding and runoff into areas. So yeah, I mean, when we crossed that bridge, I think you did a great presentation. It was really thoughtful, and thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
No, don't be. You did a great job. Any other board members want to speak? Mr. Conley?
These people
Yes, sir,
are
Mr.
nervous.
Chairman.
They're hired in public
presentation. I
speaking
appreciate it.
positions.
Quick
Thank
question.
you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
yeah.
this is a mandate from
What
the
are you
state?
nervous about?
It's a mandate from the federal government, the Environmental Protection Agency.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
but they're not funding it. The
No.
taxpayers have to fund it. So it's another
This guy's
unfunded
funny.
mandate.
It is, yes.
And people are unfunded mandates to death.
Yes,
So I just want to make that clear that
I understand. Yeah.
And what happens if we don't do it? Then we're penalized. Is that correct?
Well, we're doing it to what we're required to do right now. I've heard that when the new permit comes out, it gets stricter and stricter with each new permit.
So when it says it means
That's
stricter
if you
and stricter,
taxed every
means
resident
more
in
money,
Canton.
correct?
See how much money they get?
Correct.
Yeah.
$100.
Yes, operation and maintenance is going to be on the forefront in the future. And we do have a lot of operation and maintenance that we need to do.
And I'd just like to have what the fees might be, and what the fees might be even greater once the new mandates come in, if that's can be done. Like surrounding towns, I'm sure have done this. And what are they paying? Because people, the economy is not good. People
No,
have to
I
realize
understand. Right.
it's not
Right.
good.
No.
So I just want to make that very clear that I'm very concerned. I'm not, another
Well,
unfunded mandate
I could get
from the federal
political here, but
government
I'm not
and
going
or
to
the
right
state.
now.
No.
Yes.
No.
Thank you.
Oh,
Lock it
you.
in, lock it in, lock
Thank
it in.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Conley. Anybody else?
Boy. It's not what we heard last
Seeing
night.
none,
at
thank you very
convention.
much. We'll take this under advisement.
Say that.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda,
All right,
Mr.
next on the agenda, we have a public hearing to discuss the proposed traffic calming measures on Denham Street. So I have to read this in. Here we go. Town of Canton is holding a public hearing. The Canton Select Board will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, August 20th, 2024, on or after 7 p.m. remotely via
Someone's
Zoom.
going to make a
The
meme
purpose
with
of
me
the hearing
and
is
Chris
to
Albert
discuss
next to each other.
proposed traffic
I
calming
literally
measures
look like him right
on
now.
Dedham Street. The meeting
Hey, you already got your
agenda
costume for the
posted at
Halloween
least
party.
48 hours in advance. We'll have
just gonna shave the beard.
instructions to join
Yeah.
the meeting remotely. Chris M. Albert, Clerk, Canton Select Board.
Oh, God.
I
that's
move that the
terrible. I
board
look like
open the
Chris
public
Albert.
meeting.
I have a second.
Jesus.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Clyde
Roll
Ducksworth, that's
call,
great.
Mr. Conley,
That's
Yes,
good,
sir.
Gaza.
Ms.
Oh, you
Borden,
saw that, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Mr. Albert,
Yes.
and myself, yes, too. Okay, so we're in the public part of this. I would like to hear from Mr. Trotter or Mr. Walsh on this first, and then I'd like the board to give their initial comments, and then we'll hear from the public. And when we hear from the public, the same thing is whoever raises their hand first will be first to speak, and onward down. So with that said, Mr. Trotter or Mr. Walsh, which would like to start?
I will read.
Go ahead, Mike.
Excuse me. I would like to let Billy speak. He's been in charge of the project. It germinated with Billy through engineering and has my support, but I like Billy to explain to you the whys and wherefores.
Okay, that's very good, Mr. Trotter. Mr. Walsh?
How you doing? This all started probably around 10 years ago for Denham Street. We put those radar feedback. Back then, there was a lot of traffic bumper to bumper, and the traffic calming source we tried to use is that feedback radar signs. Well, now with the Top Golf and the off ramps, the traffic has lessened, but the speed has picked up faster. There's no longer bumper to bumper on Denham Street. So we're taking this opportunity now. We're paving Denham Street because the state's done on their behalf down near 95. And we're putting in 4 traffic islands, about 30 feet long at 4 different locations that won't impede anybody's driveways or radiuses or line of sight. It was designed by an engineer.
Okay, so this is all started from the mitigation package from the development in Westwood 10 years ago, and this is the completion of it. And the question is, do we want those islands or we don't want those islands? Because I know there's been a lot of discussion outside when they were temporarily placed in about what's going on there. I
wonder who's going to get taxed for it.
I imagine other board members
more
do
taxes.
So with that said, I will
Yes,
open it
that's
up
a good
to
one, easy.
the other board members.
Did the
if you'd
engineer
like to
take an
speak
online
on it.
class?
Do we have anyone?
Chair, if I may,
Trish,
yeah,
go right ahead.
with well, I feel bad for any folks who have to deal with traffic issues, and so I'm down with whatever the residents on that street want. If they had requested it 10 years ago and they were concerned about the traffic because of Westwood Station, then and they want traffic calming measures, I support them 100%.
Thank you, Trish. Anybody else?
Yeah, if I could, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go right ahead, Mr.
So I echo what Trish just said. I think it's ultimately should be up to the people that live in that neighborhood and live on that street to make the ultimate decision whether they would want it. I don't know how we get the feedback from all of them. I'm assuming a bunch of them would like this, but I think ultimately the decision should lie on the people that it affects the most, and that would be the residents that live on Denham Street. The only concern I have, so Billy, would they be, or Mike, would they be widening the street going towards the golf course? Because there are sidewalks on the other side. So how would these calming islands be in the middle of the road? I know how Westwood does them on the way over to Route 1. If you go past, the industrial park there, you go past. I see how they do it, but it's just, to me, it's a little bit, I can't envision it. I mean, I'm sure you have drawings, so.
The different locations we had, we test piloted this for 2 months with the barrels and the locations. We adjusted it for people who had concerns about driveway radiuses. Delivery guys had radius problems coming out of Cedar on the Denham Street.
Yeah,
we adjusted it up 16 feet in both locations. The one of the Kennedy School, we adjusted about a foot off center. The two locations that are tight heading towards Westwood, we are widening the road about 18 inches to 2 feet on the golf course side. That's all town property that's over there, just near those 2 traffic islands.
All right. Yeah.
Well, that's good. There'll be less room for taillight to land on the lawn then.
Just a note, I'm a resident of the Cedar Crest area. I travel Denham Street all the time. I wasn't in favor of the islands. I still am not. I think there's a safety issue. Westwood has no truck traffic on the roads that have their calming islands. We have tractor trailers always on Denham Street. I think they could be a hazard to those. I think they could be a hazard to snow plowers. I think they could be a hazard to just regular drivers. The road in Denham Street seems narrow. We're not going to be increasing the width of it. My feeling is it'd be more dangerous. I've read a few things, and I'm getting mixed feelings from people on that safety issue. But overwhelmingly on the residents that I have talked to, they were not in favor of these islands. That was the feedback I got. Out of, I'd say 30 people that I've talked to, I say 4 were for them and the rest weren't. So that was my feedback, and I'd like more feedback from the people on Denham Street. Mr. Walsh, I know you live on Denham Street, so you'd be one person that would give us feedback. So those are my initial thoughts. Mr. Conley, do you have it?
Probably handing out pies.
Is Mr. Conley with us?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members, and Mr. Walsh and Mr. Trotter. I have some concerns too for safety. I'd like to hear some from if there's anyone on wants to chime in and let us know what's going, what they feel. Residents who live there, I agree, but again, it's concerning about people say, oh, it's working in Westwood. You can't. You go to the top of that hill in Westwood, Canton Street into Westwood. You can't. No trucks beyond 2.5 ton. So, and I'm worried about the tractor trailers going to Shawmut Road and to the other businesses down there. So I'm very concerned about the trucks rolling down there. And I understand the speeding is bad. So I don't know. And if I'd rather put, and I'm not saying this, but I'd like, maybe speed bumps. And because I don't like the ones that are up at in Westwood, you have to slow down. And a trailer truck's not going to get, if they were allowed in Westwood, they're not going to get by there. So that's my concern. I know, we said that we had to do something. Yeah, and they said they were going to build a road, build the construction in 4 years. It took almost 8 years to get that road done. So we got to do what's best for the people of the town, and we got to slow them down, and maybe, and it can say, more police enforcement, but that's another option. And I know that's difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust the Canton Police Department either, especially when it comes to
Conley.
investigations
Is
into
this,
murder of bodies
through
left on the
Mike
front lawn.
Trotter or Mr. Walsh, is this a time-sensitive matter that has to be addressed?
Yes.
And what is the time frame do we have?
Tomorrow.
I would say, looking at the calendar, we have less than a month.
Less than a month.
We
Okay.
have a process we have to do on Denham Street. It's a cold in place, which grinds the road down and puts it as a base coat. But then if the islands get voted in, then the islands go in then. So right now, it's slated now, tentative weather permitting, is next week we'll be grinding up Denham Street, which has nothing to do with the islands.
Okay. Thank you. With that said, I'd like to open it up to the public to see if they give us a few comments on this. Do we have anybody raising their hand?
I'm going to hear from Clyde's ductwork again.
We have one, Megan Tinnell. Is that right? Did I say it wrong? Go right ahead. Oh, wait, you're muted.
I'm unmuted. Okay. Hi,
Yep, you're on now. Go right ahead.
My name is Susan DeLuca. I actually live next door to Megan. We're watching the meeting together. Is it possible to have some kind of in-person meeting with the residents? I know obviously a month is not a long time, but because these select board meetings are on Zoom, it's very difficult to get a lot of people together and have comments.
That's what Clyde was saying earlier.
That's a good question. I would have to take that under advisement, get back to you on that.
You gonna let down Clyde?
Are you a resident on Denham Street?
I live at 240 Denham Street.
240 Denham Street. Do you have a consensus of your neighbors?
I don't, honestly.
You don't?
No.
All right. Okay.
Welcome, Lynn. Thank you.
We'll take that under advisement.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With that said, I don't, we have somebody, Mike Trotter, you're raising your hand. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, good old Mike. Good old Mike.
Just to go back to a couple of points.
All right.
This came out of a neighborhood meeting that was chaired several years ago by Bill Friel. At that meeting, the speed limit was discussed. The flow of traffic was discussed. As a result of that meeting, the speed limit was lowered by the board to 25 on that street. At the time, traffic calming measures were promised to the residents. As you know, as we increase as we upgrade the road surface on any street, that increases the speed of the traffic. We all understand that. To help reduce the speed and increase the safety on that road, we looked at traffic calming measures, and the town engineer, myself, and the ops manager all feel that this is the best way of addressing the speed out there on Denham Street. We looked at the width needed to safely pass tractor trailers up and down that street. That's why the islands were designed the way they were designed. We looked at slowing traffic down as it approaches the school, and increasing safety for the pedestrians there. That's why the islands were sited where they are near the school. We looked at the interference, as Billy Walsh pointed out, the interference with driveways and access for the residents in and out. And again, we sited the islands so that there would be very little, if not no interference for your in and out on the driveways. You have recently voted a speed bump policy, and under that new policy, Denham Street would not qualify for speed bumps on that road. We feel strongly, at least Public Works, Engineering feels strongly that putting the islands in there will make the road safer, will help control the speed of the traffic. It will pass and should pass tractor trailers safely. Public Works operations wise, we don't see a issue with plowing the road. We're plowing around the roundabout, which is a big island in the middle of Pleasant Street. Doing that. We have a smaller island down at the end of Cedar Crest and Fairview. We're handling that plowing. We have that large island as you come in from Cedar Crest off of Denham Street. We don't feel that plowing is an issue. We just think it's a good idea.
Thank you, Mr. Trotter.
You literally had to say all that just to say we think it's a good idea.
Yeah, thanks. First, thanks, Mike. That was a great presentation. But yeah, one other thing is just
Lucky's
the
plowing
Kennedy
it.
School is there, so grades 1 through 5 are on that street, and the trucks can slow down for these kids, and yeah, I think it's a necessary. We all see how busy that road is. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? I see no one in the public. What is the board's pleasure on this? I think we should put it under advisement, and if we have to have a special meeting to rush this, so be it. But I think we all should be present on this.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea to have a public meeting. I think that's better than a virtual meeting.
No.
No, I agree with that, JF.
John, you good?
Yeah, I agree, because I'm right now against it, but I'm willing to listen, and I'll sit down with Mike and with Billy again, and I'm willing to change my mind, but I just want to do the right thing. Let me ask a hypothetical question, Mr. Trotter or Mr. Walsh. If we put them in, I know it's a pain in the neck to take them out. How much of a pain in the neck?
They can be removed.
I don't know what that.
And I'm not advocating for that, but remember when we put the striping on, the engineers said it wasn't the town engineers. But remember, we hired some firm to come in and they striped all the lines and said that's going to take care of the traffic on Birchcroft and not Birch, Cedar Crest. I'm sorry.
Get the street right, John.
And, but that didn't help.
Slipped and he said Birchmore.
The thing we had to do was what we did, and that's working. So
you're not getting a pain in your
You know what I'm
neck.
saying?
You have no neck.
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Okay, so, with that said, I think it's time to close the public meeting. Mr.
Yeah.
Albert,
Let's
make a
go.
motion.
Yeah, I move that the board close the public hearing on this matter.
Yeah, you got chicken
Do I have a
parm.
second?
Second,
All in favor?
I got
Aye.
food
Aye.
cooking in the background. here.
Mr. Conley,
yes.
Trish Boyden,
Yes.
Hurry up! I got chicken
Yes.
palm in the background.
okay, myself, aye, okay, so that's
Oh,
closed.
man.
So we'll keep that under advisement,
Brutal.
we'll get an answer to you as soon as possible. Thank
All
you. With that said, Mr. Albert, what's
So next on the agenda is the Dottie Tavern history presentation. I don't know if Mr. Pinio is here or not, if he's going to speak on this. So does anyone know if Peter is
Peter
going
Griffin.
to speak on this? I wasn't told if he was going to make it or not. So I
Oh
don't
my
see him
god.
here. So
Mr. Chairman,
Go right ahead.
Mr. Pinio had requested to do a presentation on the Dottie Tavern history, so we had accommodated his request. I am not sure if
No
he's
more
here. I don't see his
presentations.
name.
Good.
Okay. I don't
No
see him either.
presentations.
If he comes on, we'll go back to it. Let's move on to the next agenda item, please.
all right. So next, I move that the board approve the warrant for the 2024 state primary on September 3rd, 2024.
The
Do I have a
warrant.
Second,
We're arresting
Second.
people. Who's getting arrested? The McAlberts.
Mr. Conley, you have something to say?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. I have a
I've got
second,
some,
all in favor?
I've got some disturbance up front, so we'll leave
All
it.
in favor?
Aye.
Is it in a chicken suit outside, John?
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Is he
Ms.
out there?
Gordon,
Yeah,
Yes.
must be.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I myself, 4-0.
Yes. No
Next,
more
Mr.
presentations.
All right, next on the agenda, I move that the board approve the request for a block party to be held between 11 and 15 Ponkapog Way on September 14, 2024, between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6
Ooh,
p.m.
that'd be a
Rain
great
date
place
would
to
be
show up and
September
do some free
21st,
Karen Reed
2024,
standouts.
Contingent upon building,
Seriously,
fire,
don't
and
open yourselves up for this,
police
guys.
approval.
I have a
Jeez.
second.
Second.
I have a second. Any
The
more
free Karen
comments?
Reed block party.
All in
Yeah.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Conley?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes, the block
Yep.
party.
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I myself, 4-0. Next,
Okay, next on the agenda, these next few items are filling vacancies, committee vacancies, and some reappointed committees. So I'm going to go through them. I move that the board approve the appointment of member to the Veterans Council, Robert Maffey.
motion made. Have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Conley?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Boyd?
Yes.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Albert?
Yes.
And I myself.
Peter
4-0.
Griffin.
Reminds me of the
Okay,
skipper,
next,
the
I move
skipper
that the
from
board
Gilligan's
approve the
Island.
appointment of member to the Waste Sewer Rate Policy Committee, Joseph Ridge.
And
That's the water sewer rate.
the guy
policy
talking right
committee.
now,
Okay,
if
do I
he
have a
shaved his
second?
goatee,
Second.
he's the warden in fucking
All in
Shawshank
favor?
Redemption.
Aye.
Oh,
Aye.
He
man.
looks just like him.
Mr. Conley?
Oh, man.
Yes.
Ms. Boyd?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I myself, the chair, 4-0.
Why
Next,
turn
I
his
move
camera
that the
off?
board approve the appointment of member to the Commission on Disabilities, Cindy Thomas.
Motion made. Have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have the end of my own.
Hey,
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I, 4-0. Next,
Okay, next, I move that the board approve the appointment of the member to the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Committee,
Oh,
William
God.
Wilson.
a second.
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 No.
Any discussion?
Oh, sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Something going outside. Something
Well-
going on outside of John's house.
It's frozen.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he said there was a
Yes.
disturbance outside.
And
Yeah.
I myself, 4-0. Next, Mr. Albert.
It's gotta be, it might be Cuomo in the chicken suit outside.
Look at him.
He's like, there's a man in a
Like his
chicken
brain
suit.
is
Someone
frozen.
outside.
There's a man in a chicken suit out
Oh,
there.
wait a second.
I'm
Mr.
gonna have
Albert's
chicken after
listening.
this. I'm gonna have a chicken.
Actually, bring him on in. Let's put him in the oven. I'm hungry.
Oh, they're outside. Oh God,
They
they're
must
outside
be.
his house.
Technical
It
They
must
have to be.
It has to be. Obviously, something's going on.
I wish there was a live feed. We could go look at it.
Mrs. Conley's like, John.
It's a chicken.
me to read
I'm gonna have
it?
a chicken
Yeah,
after
Yeah,
this.
if you have, you can keep going on the appointment so he comes back if you'd like.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Chris
We're
is
on,
probably petting
Seven.
Chloe right
We
now.
were on 7.
7. Okay, go
So
ahead.
consider the appointment of member to the Paul Revere Heritage Trust, Sherry Albert.
Okay,
Chicken.
motion been made, second. Mr. Conley, second it.
Yes.
Any discussion?
Mm-mm.
All
They're
in
saying
favor?
Aye.
there's confirmation that John Cuomo was
Mr.
out
Conley?
Oh, he
Yes.
is out there. That's
Yeah.
great.
Gordon?
there. That just came in
Yes.
the chat. Yeah.
I myself, that's 3-0. Chris, are you back?
Yes, he is.
Chris?
Am I back? Sorry, guys.
Yes.
My computer just went.
Okay, sorry.
I'm back, right?
You're back, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that happens a
We're on
lot in
number
Canton where
8.
computers just shut down.
Sorry
for like
about that,
3
guys.
minutes.
I don't know. It just went out. The
Yeah,
next
what happened
one
in
is-
Sallyport,
no, we're on
too?
set. Did you
Yeah.
do 7 for
We
me?
did 7.
That's,
All right,
It's
thank you.
interesting how
Next, I move that the board approve the reappointment of
computers
the
and
member to the Paul
video
Revere
doesn't
Heritage Trust, Victor Del Vecchio.
motion been made. We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mm-mm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mr.
Okay,
Conley?
next on the agenda, I move that the.
Hold on,
public-
Chris. Hold on, I gotta do the roll
Sorry.
call.
Sorry.
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I, 4-0. Next.
All right, next I move that the board
Oh, it is.
accept and
There's a chicken
authorize the
outside.
use of the gift in accordance with the
Look at him.
terms thereof under Mass General Law 44 subsection 53A, the following donations to the Department of Elder and Human Services. $250 from Mary Beth McIntyre in the memory of her mom, Mary Ann Sullivan. $50 from Pam Carlson.
Motion been made. Have a second?
Second.
Any
It's not
discussion?
saying that John was not in costume tonight before people
All
were
in
outside.
favor?
So,
Aye.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I myself, 4-0. Thank you.
All right, next, I move that the board accept and authorize the use of the gift in accordance with the terms thereof under Mass General Law 44 subsection 53A, the donation of $350 from the Canton Lions Club to the Canton Public Library to be used for materials.
Motion's been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
I myself, 4-0. Next.
Okay, next, I move that the board accept and authorize the use of the gift in accordance with the terms thereof under Mass General Law 44 subsection 53A, the donation of $200 to the, did I just do that one? All right,
No.
to the
that's the
beautification
200 I pocketed.
committee for cleanup day
From the Lions Club.
from the Lions Club.
Do I have a
Did I do
second?
that one already?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Mr.
Yes.
Griffin.
And I myself, 4-0. Next.
Okay, next, I move that the board accept and authorize the use of the gift in accordance with the terms thereof under Mass General Law 4453A, the donation of $200 from the Canton's Lions Club to the Department of Elder and Human Services.
Motion is made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I myself, 4-0. One comment I'd like to make, if I just indulge me for a second, is these donations all help, everything that's funded in this, for donations to all these areas. Tonight, the Lions Club generously had made 3 donations. The Lions Club has been around a long
Turn
time.
your TV
It does
down,
a
one of
lot of good. And
Yeah.
as many clubs do in Canton, they're also looking for help. And if anybody would be interested in joining the Lions Club, I believe it's a very easy process to do so. And they're looking for help. And we thank you, the Lions Club, for all you do. So with that said, Mr. Albert, we'll go on to our next.
All right, so the next one I think Jen is going to speak on. It's to consider approving orders of taking for Revere Court Bridge project on Revere Court, that bridge, the wooden one that we're going to have to replace. I think, Jen, you're going to speak about this?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a little background on it. It is a Mass DOT project, and the Revere Court Bridge is currently a 1-lane bridge. It needs to be replaced, and they're going to replace it with a 2-lane bridge. Part of that project, they're also going to do some water main work, water main upgrade. So at annual town meeting 2023, the board was authorized to take the easements that are necessary to conduct both the bridge replacement and the water work. So the execution before you, the order of takings, is just the next step in the process of taking the easements that will be necessary to conduct the work.
All right, Jen, has there been any backlash from the residents there, or are they all in agreement?
Well, they've all been notified, so they're all aware of it.
Okay. Is there any action that we need to take this evening?
You need to, well, actually vote to execute the order of taking, and then we will tomorrow, we'll make sure we get wet signatures from the 4 of you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Just a little history. This goes back about 10 or 15 years.
No, this is a
When
great
an oil truck went over that bridge, and we had to close the bridge and make temporary repairs on that bridge. And we've been asking for money for a long time. We finally came through, and the businesses down there, where Kevin Michaels is and all that, the strips of the restaurants up above, and the residents, I believe, I've talked to several of them, not recently, but it's a long time coming. So for a while there, a very short while, when we repaired it, we had to make sure that fire engines, ambulances, and public safety and DPW could get over that bridge. So as I just said, it's
Angel, I agree.
Finally coming. So that's good news.
Thank you, Mr. Conley. With that said, I'd entertain a motion.
Yep. I move that the board approve the order of takings for Revere Court Bridge project for permanent and temporary easements.
Motion been made. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I myself, 4-0.
Okay, next we have the vendor warrant total for the week of 8/9/2024, $1,482,215.84. Then we have the payroll warrant total for the week of 8/9/2024, $1,448,114.82. Next is the vendor warrant total for the week of 8/16/2024, $1,052,833.59. Next, we have the payroll warrant total for the week of 8/16/2024, $363,153.34.
Very good.
All right. All right. Next, I move that the board approve the cemetery commitment in the amount of $3,325.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I myself, 4-0. Next.
All right. Next, I move that the board approve the approval of the perpetual care deeds.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yeah, exactly,
All in
Julia.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
I myself, 4-0.
4-0
All right.
on everything,
Next, I
huh?
move that the board approve the minutes from the select board meeting of August 6th, 2024.
I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Boyden?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
And I myself, 4-0.
All right. Next, we have the town administrator update, which Jen is going to handle.
Jen?
Thank you. Thank you. I just have a couple of announcements.
My favorite.
What's that?
So good.
I'm in my own office.
I know.
So an announcement went out today, but so I have a couple of announcements and then a couple of reminders. So the Bolivar Street is going to be has having some water work done starting on Wednesday. And I just want to let everybody know that there's going to be a detour and there's going to be a little bit of traffic. So The westbound traffic, which is if you were starting from Duval and heading towards the center of town, that's going to be detoured onto Lawrence Street that will go onto Sherman Street to Washington. That's going to be starting tomorrow, actually, Wednesday, the 21st. It's going to take about 4 to 6 weeks. But just so everybody knows, the other direction will remain open, and school buses and emergency vehicles will be allowed to pass in both directions. So it shouldn't have much impact on the schools, hopefully. So residents are just being advised to expect delays and please seek alternate routes if possible.
I like that idea, Zelda.
We got a notice from the Board of Health about a mosquito that tested positive for West Nile virus. The Board of Health is recommending that people avoid mosquito bites and that they mosquito-proof their homes and animals. No human infections have been detected in Canton, but there are 2 currently in the state. People can
Some experts are
register
advising that you
for
avoid
mosquito and other
Canton at all
health alerts
costs
by
in
going
general.
to the Town of Canton webpage, clicking on the
corrupt.
alert sign-up button that's on the
froze.
bottom of the page,
You're
and they can
frozen.
choose the Board of Health.
Yeah.
That way they won't miss any alerts, any other kind of alerts. Another reminder, which is relevant because of the upcoming state election, is the polling location. The board voted last week, but I know that a lot of residents probably were not in attendance at that meeting. So as a reminder, last week, the board voted to establish 1860 Washington Street, which is the former St. Gerard's Church, as a new polling location for voters who live in precincts 4 and 5. Precincts 4 and 5 voters were formerly using the JFK, the John F. Kennedy Elementary School as a polling location. So we just want to let everybody know that if you voted there at the last election, you need to go to 1860 Washington Street at this next upcoming election and for all elections going forward. And for the meantime, until it's a temporary polling place, but for the meantime, that's where they should go. Also, the Canton Area Helpline is holding an open house on Saturday, September 14th from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And that's also at 1860 Washington Street, but it's at the back end, the lower level. The open house is an opportunity to learn about the mission of connecting community members with resources and services. For more information, you please call 888-6666 or visit the helpline website, which is www.cantonhelpline.org. And finally, the town is going to host a virtual open house on the ADA Transition Plan project. That open house is going to be held on Wednesday, August 28th from 5 to 7 p.m. The purpose of the open house is to provide information on the progress of the project and to gather feedback from the community about the town's accessibility. The goal of the ADA Transition Project is to assess the current accessibility of public facilities and programs and to provide recommendations to the town on any improvements that can be made to improve the town's accessibility. The link to join the open house can be found on the homepage of the town's website.
When is the pasta and meatball dinner?
Is that it, Jen?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Albert, next on the agenda.
Mr.
I
Chairman,
think Mr. Conley has.
my hand's up. I can't find my button.
Yeah, his hand's up.
Okay,
Let the guy
Mr.
speak, for
Conley, go
goodness
right
sake.
ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm chatty Cathy tonight. But
Chatty
people have
Cathy,
asked me
it's
why
all
we
good.
moving the polling places out of the Kennedy School. It's very simple for the safety of the children.
As soon as
We
I
moved the
mentioned
Lou School
meatballs and
several years
pasta, the
ago,
hand spoke right up.
to cross the
My
street
neck
to
is
the,
down and my hand is
Department
up.
of Elder and Human Services
My hand is
building
up.
at
My hand
500
is up.
Pleasant Street. So
I'll
it's
chat to
something
Cathy.
that we're lucky. Thank God that no one ever got hurt, whether it be a voter or a child
What, lucky?
or even
Lucky
a car
Laughlin?
accident. So
Yeah.
it's something that's been on its way for a long time. And I commend the DPW for getting it ready because it had to pass the state inspection. And I thank Tracy, Patrice, and Gail McHugo for their hard work coming up. So thank you.
I think Lucky Locker.
Thank you, Mr. Conley.
Yes.
And with that said, Mr.
All
Albert,
right, next. So the board will hold its next meeting on Tuesday, September 10th,
It's ending.
2024, 7 p.m.
God.
remotely via Zoom.
Zoom.
Cowards!
Another
Second,
fucking Zoom meeting.
Cowards!
you have your hand raised?
I do. I'm sorry to torture you. When will we go live again? I'm getting so many questions.
Oh, they muted her.
I don't have
Yep.
that answer. We could discuss with the chair and see if we.
They muted her. Did you see that?
Yeah, they did.
I
Yeah.
will do that promptly on his return. Is that okay?
You're muted, Trish.
We'll have a discussion. I'll have a discussion.
Keep doing that. Thank you very
No.
much.
It was
Okay?
probably Chris
Very good.
Albert that muted her.
Yeah,
Anything
probably
else
did,
for
yeah.
anybody else?
They muted her on purpose.
Yeah.
She
With
didn't
that,
even
I'll
realize
take
she
a
even muted
motion to
herself.
adjourn,
Yeah.
Mr. Albert.
She
I
did.
make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
She didn't mute herself. Look at she knows she
Motion made
didn't.
to adjourn the
No.
meeting.
That's why
at
she smiled.
8:14 p.m. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
She
Mr.
did not mute
Conley.
herself
Yes,
at all.
sir.
She would have known.
Boyd.
She would have known
Yeah.
if she did.
Mr.
That's why
Albert.
she's smiling right
I
now.
myself,
She
it's
knows.
4-0. Good
Look
night,
at this.
everybody.
She's
Stay
working. I mean,
Jen,
look at
thank you
that.
for being
Look
here
at her.
tonight, Jen.
She's probably like,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Good night.
Actually, very believable. Very believable.
yeah, I mean, it
Recording
doesn't
stopped.
surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. Here, let's do this real quick before we bounce to the other stream.
Sure.
Here's John outside. We'll play a little bit of it.
Oh, jeez. There's my guy.
Live for
Okay, you guys didn't think I was.
Got your Deeks shirt on. I love it.
Live.
Conley, we're here for the meeting.
John Conley. We're here for the meeting.
We're in front of John Conley's house.
How's your storage container doing? Did Ed
one of the
Walsh
other
write you
members-
any fines?
One of the other members
How many
of
fines did
the
I'll go
select
ahead and write
board.
you, John?
And
How's
sorry.
Ozempic working?
I have to show you guys
Doesn't
this.
look like it's working out too well for you.
I have a
You
guest.
fucking clown.
I have a guest.
Oh, look who it is.
Yeah.
Tell us how you feel. Tell us how you feel.
I think John Conley is a fat pig that needs to get on Ozempic and also needs to go to fucking AA with that red face that he fucking has. Okay? He has a storage container in his backyard, but Uncle Ed didn't write him any fucking tickets or fines. And for his backyard, he doesn't have a fucking permit for his fucking food, his extra food storage for his fucking fat
You might
ass.
get whacked here with that.
That's what his storage container's in the back for. It's for his extra refrigerator.
John, we're here for the meeting.
John, we're here for the meeting. Do you hear us? Loud and clear in Canton on Canton Street.
Oh, this is so
Loud
epic.
and
We're here for the
clear.
meeting. Hey, nice house, by the way.
Are you taking any questions during the
Are you taking
5-minute
any
Zoom?
Why aren't you at town hall,
Big
John?
driveway.
They won't bring the meeting to the town hall, and they'll bring the meeting to them.
Right.
They're clowns.
Get off your
That's it.
high horse. I
Clowns.
love it.
That's all we can say. Clowns. We got a bunch of clowns. We got a bunch of clowns running the town.
So there's John Conley's house. You can't get him up at town hall. He lived there for 30 years. He's lived there. You know how to get to town hall, John. John, you know how to get up to town hall?
You can't walk there though. He'll be out of breath in 2 seconds. The fat fuck.
Oh, gosh.
I want to say that I'm not as eloquent as some of these other people. She doesn't hide her feelings.
No, I don't. I keep it real, 100%, because I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar. Liar.
John,
Liar. I love
glad
it.
they
your
brought
curtain's
Colleen
not
out for
closed all the way. I can see your computer screen. So if you look right there, you can see his computer screen on. John,
John!
can we speak? I'd like to speak.
I have something to say, John.
So, yeah. That's it. End the Zoom. End the Zoom. Close your laptop and get up to town hall. There you go. Stop horsing around. End the Zoom meetings.
Look at the sign. That's a great sign.
Some nice cars on Chapman Street, huh? Look at that.
Look at that. Porsche.
Jeez. Chapman Street's nice with their Porsches.
Nice house.
And John's 2001 Ford Explorer.
What's up with the? Oh, he clearly likes food with the birthday cake flag hanging up. He likes the sweets.
John, can I get 3 minutes, please? I'd like 3 minutes to talk, please. So, everybody, if you notice, we're all on the sidewalk. Nobody's off the sidewalk. We will have to get in a single line because there's a pedestrian coming. There's a pedestrian coming.
It's town property.
Yeah.
Justice for John.
I'm going to leave my phone this
They want
way.
to shut the mics off, but Colleen comes prepared.
Move so she can walk by. I'm facing. No. I'm facing that way, so you're not you won't be.
J
sued.
Margaret, $5 says
There you go.
John had a hat on in the video.
John, am I 3 minutes up yet?
Yeah,
John!
the hat was never found, right?
Are we
You take
past
it
the
off in
3 minute
car, it was
mark?
cold.
Hang it up.
They found his hat, didn't they, Mazza? It was in evidence.
Did they? I think they may have. I think you're right. I think they pulled that.
Yeah, they found evidence. I'm gonna kill that. If anybody wants to watch the rest of it, you can go over to going through the motions on Facebook, and that the whole video is there, because I want to get over to the other stream. We got some testimony to go through. But let me do this really quick. I don't know if you all saw this. I'm not going to read through the whole article. I'll drop it. But did you see this today, Maz? Braintree police audit shows $470,000, almost $400,000 and 60 guns missing from an evidence room. I mean, you can't. It's only in the state of Massachusetts. I'm telling you. Holy smokes. I'll just read a little bit of this. An audit for the Braintree Police Department evidence room found that thousands of items, including drugs, cash, and guns, missing or unaccounted for in sloppy record keeping. Can you imagine what this is going to be like when they actually get into Canton and they're able to do this? I mean, come on. Come on. And that's what they're probably hiding, the Canton audit. They don't want it because the audit found that 4,709 pieces of narcotic evidence could not be accounted for, and that 38 pieces have been compromised, have been opened, left unpackaged, or found to have missing items. The audit report describes much as the missing drugs as bags of cocaine. Mess.
We all know what happened to that.
Evidence
Black market
is being stored haphazardly. The audit found it should be stored chronologically by year and the Braintree police property number. Also found missing were 2,490 pieces of property evidence, the report states. Unfucking real. I'll do this. I'm going to drop the link if you all want to read through the rest of that article. Mazza and I are going to jump over to the next stream, and the next stream will end. Well, we'll take you right over if you stay at the conclusion of this one. If not, we would love for you to join us via this link that I'm going to drop in the chat. And we're going to go over and do part 2 of Jen McCabe. And when you come over, I will kick it off with the new Higgins information. So I can't wait to show you all of that. So, all right, we're going to kill this stream. Maz and I are going to jump over. Did I get you the stream link?
Yeah.
It should be in
Twitter.
Okay. Maz and I are going to jump over the stream, follow that link, follow us over. Jen McCabe, part 2. Last night we had almost 14,000 people. And 14. I would love 14,000. 1,400. Let's try to do that tonight. All right. We'll see you guys over there. Thank you so much for watching. That was the Canton Select Board meeting. Maz and I will see you in a minute. Bye-bye.